The current spoiler warning level is butterscotch.
Friends and folks, for this episode you're looking at a spoiler warning level of butterscotch. We're talking about two machines from the end of Season 1 of Mobile Suit Gundam 00. Obviously, 00 is a show that the Great Gundam Project covered a while ago, so if you've kept up with the Great Gundam Project with GGP, you are totally fine. I did want to make it butterscotch for anyone who hasn't seen 00, though, because around here we try to be more careful and cautious with our spoiler warnings and sort of be extra broad, be like, hey, we mentioned that this thing exists, it's not important, but just in case, for some people that's a spoiler. The stuff we talk about in this episode is just straight up a spoiler. If you haven't seen 00 and you care, don't listen to this. But otherwise, please enjoy the episode. Hello friends and folks, and welcome back to another episode of Mechanista NG. I don't have anything funny to say. I'm Six Detmar.
And I'm Dylan. Oh, I don't know why it was delayed there.
Yeah, that was a long delay.
I'm sorry. I just was like, Six said a thing, and then look, it's fine.
Uh-huh. I hope this isn't the dynamic for the rest of the show, because that'll be a problem.
No, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're simply tired.
Oh, sure. I feel that. I spent a lot of the day yesterday dealing with the government in person.
Oh, so. No. What was it for, if I may ask?
It has taken a while to get the court order for my name change, right?
Uh-huh.
And so it's like now I'm going to Social Security and the DMV and trying to sort shit out. Social Security got an appointment. Like I made an appointment the previous day. Half an hour all told. Not bad at all, right? Great, nice, fast.
Mm-hmm.
DMV.
The DMV.
Get to the DMV. First of all, it's about 40 minutes from home, even though it's in the neighboring town. It's just at the furthest possible end of the neighboring town. And then you get there, 20 minutes to park. Once you parked, half an hour waiting in line to get a number. Once you get the number, 3 hours. And then I get up and they're like, I'm like, hey, I'm trying to do all this stuff, and they're like, all right, and have you done Social Security already? And I'm like, yeah, I did it this morning. And they're like, this morning? Well, then we can't help you. It's going to take 48 hours to process. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. Well,
would have been
your website said
to know that before waiting for the 3 hours.
Yeah, your website said I didn't even need to do Social Security for this at all. But okay, I guess I'll do this again in 2 days.
Yeah. God. Well, damn.
Yeah, not the best. But,
Yeah.
We persevere or something? Pretend I said something inspiring.
I've still got
Let's roll some dice.
Yeah.
Good?
Oh,
Actually, you know what?
Oh.
Let's not roll some dice.
Oh, okay.
I have to make a phone call in an hour, so I'm just gonna pick something that's short.
Okay, fair enough.
Also, if you don't get this really fast, I'm going to be incredibly disappointed in you.
Alright, well, let's see.
Decide to put some pressure on.
Okay.
Alright, we'll start as we usually do. With a small piece here.
Alright, yellow. Ooh.
Makes it a short list.
Yeah, this is not the Alvaaron, is it?
This is the Alvaaron.
Okay. I was looking at it, I'm like, well, there's not that many suits with that particular shade,
Uh-huh.
Alright, yeah. It's pretty self-contained, so, alright. The Alvaaron. So, the Alvaaron is from Gundam 00. And it is a weird mobile suit used by Alejandro Corner, if the gold doesn't give that away. If you've watched 00, Alejandro loves everything to be gold-plated. He's got his gold-plated gun. I can't remember. Does he have a gold... does he have the gold limo, or am I thinking of Dorothy from fucking Wing, or do they both?
I think he shows restraint with that one. I think it's just Dorothy that has that.
Okay, but he does have the gold-plated gun.
Oh yeah.
And then, yeah. Anyway, yeah, so this is used by Alejandro at the very end of the show when he decides to start doing things himself. Doesn't start as this, it actually starts as, within its housing, but we'll talk about the mobile suit first. So this is, it is a GN Drive equipped, mobile suit. It is based off the, in-universe, obviously not in the show mentioned, it is based off the One Gundam, or the I Gundam, as it is called. And it uses a GN Drive Tau, so it is one of the, the orange GN drives. It's not using one of the originals from Celestial Being. And yeah, it is a ridiculous gold machine, and I guess we'll just describe it. So starting with the head, you've got kind of a gym-like head, surprisingly. It's got a Mohawk camera. The Mohawk camera is a little bit elaborate. It has the top of it extends a little bit more on the top half, and then it kind of pushes back hard. And then the back of it extends off the back of the head a bit too. Same kind of deal, where the upper half of the back of it is sticking off the head and the back pushed back in. Then the rest of the head, you've mostly just got panel lining around the top sides of the head. When you hit the sides of the head, another thing that makes this gym-like is it has big circles on the side of the head. In this case, they are big blue circles, and they've got a thick panel line running through them that runs around the sides of the head toward to the back of the head.
Yeah, from the back view, you can tell properly that it's truly the two halves of the circle are separated.
Yeah, it's a very thick line going through. Then the face, you have the quote-unquote eyes, which are a visor. Unfortunately, we don't know if the visor has anything below it, because it never gets drawn in that much detail, and the one time they were going to make a model of this, it was canceled. Though it does have a robot spirits, where it looks like you can't see under the eyes either, or under the glass, unfortunately. And then, moving on to the rest of the face, the lower head, it does have, the chin is a separate piece, very Gundam-like there. And again, mostly just panel line details. Then for the torso, you've got a kind of a bit of a pop color going around the whole head. Not a hugely big color, but it's all one piece, and it's just
bit of a raised rim almost.
Yeah. Does still have two separate pectorals, but they're very small and on the very edge of the torso. Because the middle of the torso, you've just got this large, blue glass piece, which is for I believe this is for, it's weird, right? Because, it's got the GN drive in the back, it's got this big blue thing, it then will usually put the wings forward, and then it can charge a beam in between. I don't know if the chest glass has anything to do with that, or if it's just the wings making the beam. It's weird, because, it puts the wings forward, and the orb just kind of appears between, in front of it.
Yeah, I mean, this thing kind of comes out of nowhere at the end of Season 1. I mean, you can reverse engineer and be I guess it's not unreasonable that this thing exists, but it is just kind of it shows up.
Yeah, it is, a very final boss out of nowhere thing, especially considering that Alejandro, for the most part, has been not in a mobile suit and has just been the UN ambassador and is a secretly, celestial being guy. But then it's very funny that
the backstory for him that doesn't come up in the show, but it's like, oh yeah, he's a UN ambassador, and he got made ambassador because he was such a good mobile suit pilot. That's not how that works.
Yeah. And, like, you know, well, then, yeah, he's hanging out with them well, that's the weird part, right? He's just with them at the end, and no one's, like, questioning, oh, what's this giant golden mobile armor that's hanging out with us? It's weird. It does feel a little weird. His descent is also insane, because he starts off just like, I am the shady guy, and then starts going, basically, you know, like, I am the best, I am God, I am better than everyone, fuck you, Aeolia, and, you know, murders him? Question mark?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, Aeolia's in the, he's frozen, and fucking, and Aeolia being Aeolia has his fucking, he has a failsafe that knows, oh, I've been assassinated, time to entrust all the power to the Gundam pilots, and, fuck everyone else, I guess. It's really weird. It's fun, though.
I think the way this shows up at the end, like, does kind of work, because it is part of the same, like, initiative as the rollout of all the, like, GN Drive Taus and the initial Jinxes and everything, where it's like, hey, like, there's a celestial being, like, defector, here's just a bunch of shit, and it's just like, okay, everyone is like, this is a lot.
Yeah. Honestly, my only thing is I kind of wish they had a bit more lead up to it, like, but I think it still works for what it's doing. I just mean, you know, would have been kind of neat if it, like, you know, if he was overseeing the hangar or something, you know what I mean? Because it's just, there's no lead up to it, it's just suddenly there's a golden mobile armor and Alejandro's in it.
Yeah, totally.
But anyway, yeah, so for the rest of the chest, though, you've got a little segment below the pectorals that's circular going around, and then you've got a gray section in the very middle of the body that is also circular going around the body. For the arms, very basic shoulders, just kind of a standard shoulder shape. The only thing that makes them unique is these large, bulbous, like, circular parts on the front and back of them that have these two little, like, venti kind of things. But otherwise, that's a gym shoulder. Complete with not being detailed and filled in, no thrusters or anything on them. The biceps, very simple, square biceps. Then, the forearms, they're interesting. So you got a standard double joint in the forearms. You get kind of like the you know, Celestial being Gundam thing, where, like, the base of the forearm where it's connected into the joint has, like, these circular glass parts you can see through, which makes sense because you have the blue one on the chest, then you get these blue ones on the arm as well, as opposed to, like, you know, most of the Celestial being suits having the green ones. Then, the rest of the forearm, though, you just get some pretty standard detail on them, like little panel lines. They're very boxy. They have a bit of an extended elbow that protects the joint from the back. Very, very much, though, these arms remind me of the Exia. The interesting thing, though, they remind me of the Exia, but by way of... this is an Okawara design, I should mention, too. Which is maybe why it seems a little weird, right? Because there's not... The only other Okawara design in the show is the O Gundam, you know? And then suddenly this guy. So it's a very weird, like, design that just... It kind of... I forget that this is an Okawara design. I actually had to look it up while we were talking about it, because I'm like, this art does not look like any of the usual Double O guys, and it's like, right, it's not. It is Okawara's other design for the show.
Yeah, it's Okawara trying to, like, not imitate, but trying to, you know, Okawara doesn't really need to imitate anybody, but trying to, like, draw a line to and connect to designs by, like, Ebikawa and Yanase.
Yeah, for sure. And then, moving on to the waist, though, simple kind of waist. You've got a frontal crotch piece that is just like a plate of armor hanging down, kind of a coffin shape. No front skirts, really. You just kind of get, like, you know, like almost like a belt. You do get the side skirts, and the side skirts are like a dual layered piece of armor, which looks pretty cool. They're rounded and end in a point, though, in the middle, and then there's another layer of that below. And then finally, for the rear skirt, you've just got a big hexagonal plate, still kind of coffin-shaped, just not as elongated as the one on the front. And then that has a little holster for its beam saber. Is it? Okay, yeah, it's 2 beam sabers connected at the base, and I don't think it ever uses them connected. I think he just splits them when he uses them, but it can, they can be connected and used as like a double saber as well. But I believe in the show he only ever grabs both the halves and just splits it.
I think that's right.
Because this thing does not get a lot of showtime either, is the other thing.
No.
And then for the thighs, a bit of a rounded base connecting into the central like waist. Then the rest of the thighs, simple in detail, just gold waist, gold thighs, standard shape, very square. Normal double joint. The knees pop up a little in front of the joint. Around the sides of the calves, you do have circular parts that resemble the ones on the shoulders, complete with like the little cut-ins with the little dots in them. Then moving down, you've got no real like ankle armor. It does have a piece of armor that extends out of the front of the bottom of the leg, over the top of the foot. And then the feet themselves, pretty standard as well, though I guess for Okawara it's a bit of a high heel, actually, looking at it, compared to what he usually does. It's just not a very super high heel. And then finally the backpack, it's a GN drive. It does have 2 attachment points on it around the sides, though, and these attachment points in gray have 2 large wings attached to them. The wings are interesting in their shape. They are almost like two pieces, is how I would think of them. Like you've got this initial like triangular piece, and then you've got this outer piece that has a split at the end that has the wings. And in the split, the one of the wings has another like little trapezoidal cut, just to give it a bit of a different shape. And then the other one's just big rectangular piece.
I believe they're both. I believe they're symmetrical. It's just that in this picture, because it's at a slight angle.
Oh yeah, no. The wings are symmetrical. I meant the each.
Oh, I see the segments.
Feather,
of the wings.
Yeah, whatever you want to call them. Each segment on the wing, like the one has just the one on the outside of either side has these cuts in it, and then the inside one's just a big square. They're just some big plates on the back of it. And then finally, no, wait, that's it. I will go into the equipment now. So it does have 2 GN beam rifles that are held in the hand. Now, in the art, funnily enough, these are actually visible here, so we don't really need to post separate. You can see them. They are just pretty standard rifles. They've got like a little like cap thing at the end. No visible scope, funnily enough. The handle does have a guard in front of the fist, and they do have, like, extended barrels, but...
They don't look like beam rifles. I like this about them. They look like Gundam Wing, like, grunt weapons, like something a Leo would be holding.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing with it that I noticed, going with the other gym theming. If you were to cut off the extended barrel and just look at this little front thing, it looks like a beam pistol with, like, a huge barrel just attached, and, like... It's weird. It's just a weird little gun, though. Yeah, it doesn't look like it doesn't look like a normal beam rifle. It's strange.
I like it.
And then its other equipment would be, we mentioned the GN beam sabers, and then the wings are able to generate a beam cannon. For the video people, just to show what that looks like.
I already got it.
Oh, yep, there you go. So the wings just fold over the shoulders towards the front, and then it generates like a large like it does kind of the thing that the Virtue does sometimes, where the beam starts off as an orb in front, or not the Virtue. I think the CeraV does this more often, where it generates like an orb that builds and grows and then fires. Eventually it starts to fire a large cannon from it, like this. So, looks cool. And then finally, the other thing it can do, which I believe is tied to the wings, given that the wings seem to just manipulate GN particles, is it can generate a GN field around the body.
Mm-hmm.
I guess also it has a combat support AI, which I don't think comes up in the show. Yeah, no, that's in 00N. Okay. Oh no, it wasn't used due to Ribbons' betrayal.
Oh, that's why he lost. Oh.
Yeah, because it was meant to, Okay, well, that's funny.
An AI system that handles simple combat activities like long-range shooting and one-to-one battle. Yeah, simple things like a duel.
Yeah. Fucking goofy. Also, the gold is, like in many Gundam things, meant to be an anti-beam coat.
It is, however, very funny that it's like, it didn't work very well because the only people who have beams too strong for it to work against.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, I guess it could maybe shrug off, like, GN drive Tau beams, but not the Gundam ones.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, then, of course, the whole thing with the duel on this is the Exia can't land a blow on it because it's got the GN field. And, like, in the show, we don't really see, like, normal suits having, like, full-on GN fields around the body, you know? You get the Virtue, but the Virtue is large, and this is, like, a speedy mobile suit, you know, shooting at him, moving around the battlefield while keeping this consistent field up, which is a problem. But then, he remembers from, like, a couple episodes before when there was a flashback already to this, in the past, where it's like, what is the combat function of the Exia? Well, it has a bunch of solid blades, because the solid blades can push through GN defenses. And I believe it was like a flashback that already occurred in a couple episodes before, so it's just funny that he has it one more time. So then he uses the GN blades to stab through it.
Yeah, I think the explanation comes up around the time of the
Is it during the Thrones, like, betraying them?
Yes, it's during the Thrones of, like, hey, yeah, the two people we have who are supposed to be our anti-betrayal are Setsunov because he can stab through GN shields, and then, you know, Tieria for obvious reasons.
Yeah, the trial system, so. And also the fact that he is fully in love with Celestial Being to a ridiculous degree.
I ended up watching some Deca Ranger recently. I don't know if you're familiar. That show also has a trial system, but it's so much cooler that it's like a literal, like, trial system, because they're space cops, right? And we all know how cops are, but this is cop fiction. We just have to deal with it, right?
No, it's...
And when they're dealing with a real villain, the finisher is they pull out their badges and point a camera, and it remote contacts a galactic jury that's standing by that instantly issues a verdict so they can execute them.
Amazing. Oh, these are the guys that have the really cool suits, too. Okay, I couldn't remember which one Decker... Oh, this is the one that also has Doggy Kruger, right?
Yes, it is the one with Doggy Kruger.
Yeah. I remember when Abnormal Mapping did the VoIP life on all the Toku, all the Sentai, outfits. This one was one that I actually really liked, because I like the weird, you know, having the number on the side and then, like, the black on the left arm there. I just think these are, fun ones. Cool suits. But, yeah. Anyway, yeah, fucking Doggy Kruger, is the other thing I know from this show. But yeah, no, I'm glad that they, put people on trial. I assume, do they do this? Now, is this done regularly to the villain of the week?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's great because while they're awaiting the verdict, which doesn't take very long, but in the meantime, there's a huge, like, green circle and red X that alternate blinking on the screen.
God. Amazing. That rules.
It's very good.
But yeah, so then the Exia stabs through it, though, and this is when he famously uses all of his swords, because he stabs through with the GN short blade, and then that's when it pierces through and it stabs into the torso, and Alejandro's like, "Nani?" And then he stabs him again with the GN long blade. Then he stabs the two beam sabers, two more beam sabers. The short ones and the long ones, and then finally he cuts him down the middle with the GN sword on the arm, and so that if you've played a video game when the Exia has a special attack, it is stabbing them with all of the fucking swords. So yeah.
This just feels like a direct attack right now on me. In Gundam 00I, it is specifically stated that the combat abilities of the Alvaaron are much higher than the Estrella Type F. Why that one specifically? Yeah. Come on!
Maybe because, do they fight each other? Does Von Spock fight this at some point?
Oh wait, sorry. No, that was for a different machine. I had the 1.5 Gundam tab open.
Oh yeah, the
I lost track of which one I was on. Okay, that one's fine. That's fine.
So
okay,
funny.
That one's allowed to. I still don't know why it's specifically Von Spock we're dunking on, but okay.
God. Anyway, yeah. So the Alvaaron though, it's all right. The Alvaaron is again kind of infamous for I don't remember exactly what happened at the end of 00 Season 1 in Japan. I don't remember if that was, 00 had two different disasters happen to Japan during its airing, right? One during the movie and one during the show, and both times it affected, the models, because things that got shown off or announced got canceled, afterwards. And so, yeah, there was this is a scan of an advertisement that was, it was in the conceptual stage, obviously, because we don't have a picture of the model, we only have a picture of what I assume the box art would have been, and they're like, oh yeah, they're going to be doing a plamo of the, specifically the Alvaaron, not the Alvatore, and, it never happened. And you can tell it probably is for a model because, I mean, if you look at the Gundam, design there, it's got more detail on it, but this is, very obviously, it looks like official art, It is just, it's got more panel lines on it. Unfortunately, never happened.
I'm trying to figure out what it could have been. Was it maybe Tropical Storm Utao? Which...
Let me see. When is the end of 00 Season 1? 00 Season 1?
It's late 2009.
No. Wait. Is it?
Oh, wait, no, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong...
That's Season 2.
No,
yeah, so Season 1...
It's the beginning of 2009. So Utao would have been way...
Yeah, so...
later in the year.
Let me see. Hold on. 2000.
And there's the Shizuoka Quake, but that wasn't... Frankly, that wasn't that. It was bad. But it wasn't bad.
I think it was. But... It may have been.
Also, too late in the year.
Let me take a look real quick. I don't know actually. So maybe this one wasn't. Maybe this one was just canceled after one ad. I know that then there was the one for the 00 movie though that happened, which I think was 2010. So that would have been the 20. I think it was the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami that happened. And
sure,
and
that was a pretty bad one.
Yeah, because that happened in March. So the things we had for 00 the movie that were announced were for a little after, and then they slowed on releases after that. So people are thinking, okay, just something
the
that
the fourth most powerful earthquake ever recorded.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so 00 is one of the few shows that was still popular to have a couple of prototypes shown off that never happened.
Yeah.
Which is always sad. At least for
it's
the
never too late. It's never too late.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Looks at how they just did the Plutone and now the Plutone Black, and I'm like, please, just start giving us more, please. Especially from 00 side stories. I'd love a Saddle Sid.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So that's the Alvaaron. it gets defeated, gets chumped on. Of course, when it initially appears, it's much bigger because it is the Alvatore. Oh, sorry. Actually, you know what? My art is more clear than that, so...
That's true. Yours is better.
Yeah. I got mine off MAHQ.
Yeah, well.
And then here's the rear view. The rear view is hilarious because this thing, we're gonna talk about it, has so many fucking GN drives, which makes me laugh every time. So yeah, the Alvatore. This is the proto final boss. He shows up in this and fucks up the battlefield. So the thing with this machine is it's a large mobile armor, and yeah, to describe it, so first of all, you can see in the base, nestled in there, you can see the head of the Alvaaron. Not going to mince words, kind of a yonic opening going on there where the head is. Look.
No, you're right. You're right.
Hard to otherwise describe. It does have two cannons kind of sticking out the front there.
I think those are just the guns from the...
Oh, those are... Yeah, the Alvaaron's holding the guns, right. I forgot about that. So those... It just looks like a turret because of the way the holes are there.
It does, but it's basically just in a blind.
It's so funny, actually. I forgot about that. And then, so yeah, going around the design, though, it has, the front, you've got this, like, big mouth-like opening on the front. Looks like it has teeth, basically. And this houses another GN beam cannon, a large one. You can see it before it opens there, and then for those in the video, after it opens, it's essentially a set of jaws, though. It's
really fucked up looking in a cool way.
Yeah. Well, because it's got these, like, bellows that allow it to extend out. Yeah, you can see that in the line art there. It's really cool. Oh, and I didn't notice, so the jaws, instead, they don't just open vertically, they also split open. This thing opens like a fucking predator's mouth. Which is cool. I actually didn't notice that. And then, yeah, it's got this, like, little extension of armor on the bottom, this little spike. And then, around the sides are, you've got these, like, little extensions of armor that pop forward. And then you've got these large, like, binders on each side that are secretly arms. You can see them here popping out. Specifically the little rounder part at the very end of each arm there. Or, sorry, of each side is able to pop out as an arm. And the arms are weird looking, too. They've got these, like, weird, gigantic, like, circular joints going on. And it's got
they're like crab arms, kind of, with an extra joint.
Yeah, they're very weird. Then for the back of this machine, you've got the frontal prong in the middle, and then each of those little side binders has like a prong sticking back. And then on the underside, it has little landing feet. Like two large, like almost standard looking thrusters, which is weird, like these little square ones. And then you've got a total of, running vertically, you have a GN drive nearer to the top, a piece of armor there, two more GN drives below that, so located vertically you've got 3, and then located horizontally to where that piece of armor that divides the one on top and the 2 on bottom, you then have 4 more GN drives, 2 on either side.
So it's 8 because it also has the one that the Alvaaron is giving it.
Yeah, so it's got 8 GN drives total, which is ridiculous.
It's excessive.
Yeah. The other thing that is going on, so this large tail piece right here. Oh, sorry.
Cute little picture of it landing.
Yep, it's got little landing legs. I don't think we ever see that in the anime, though.
Oh, no.
Because it just gets deployed in space when we see it, so... Finally, the other weird thing this does, sadly, don't have better art of this, like bigger art. Let me see if it is bigger on the page below, actually. No, not really, and the scan's not great. This large wedge on the back of it is able to pop open, and it does keep, GN Fangs in there. Or sorry, what are they called on this one? Yeah, GN Fangs.
GN Fangs.
Okay.
Yep, you got it.
It's got 6 that are hiding within this, like, large singular binder on the back. So, yeah. For the weapons, though, it's got the huge beam cannon on the front. It is able to... it fucks up the Tolmaios. It's the thing that actually takes the Tolmaios out of combat, basically, for a bit. And then, of course, it gets finished off by some Jinxes, unable to defend itself. It does have a flexible barrel, so it can, like, move around a bit, which is weird.
Wiggle its tongue.
Yeah. And it can still be fired even with the GN field around it. Then it has 22 side beam cannons, 11 on each side. They are concealed behind armor plates, so basically anything that looks like a panel line on this can seemingly pop open and reveal them.
So basically it's like 4 here, 4 here, 3 here.
Yeah. So, ridiculous. Just these, like, little plates pop open and are just, there's a bunch of little guns in them. Then, the beam cannons are still strong enough to destroy, the XCSGN shield and, obviously allow it to basically kind of Big Zam it, because they can fire in multiple directions, because there are fucking 22 of them. Then there are, of course, the 6 large GN Fangs. They are launched when the stabilizer opens. They are bits. They don't actually have the close combat capabilities, but they are still called Fangs, which is funny, because later on the differentiation between, like, the GN funnels is that, well, they're not doing the melee stuff, I don't think.
Yeah, I think there seems to be, like, a decision made about this in Season 2. Originally, it seems like probably the intent was they're always called Fangs in this setting, and they changed their minds.
But then, of course, you have the Reborn's Gundam, with the, what is it, are they Fin Fangs?
Something like that.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Fin Fangs, because they're, fin funnels, but Fangs, because they do the melee. Anyway, weird though. But they just fire a large beam cannon. Apparently, the reason they don't have the melee function is to make them easier to control for Alejandro, because I do love that they seemingly cannot decide between whether he was secretly some ace or he's kind of a loser.
It is, they do debate in-universe whether or not the gold is deliberate, like, tactical, or for, like,
him being ridiculous.
His personal preferences.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's kind of settled by the fact that it is hard confirmed that the fact that his GN particles are gold was his call. He did specifically choose that. So, like, why are we asking
I thought
the
they
question?
were just... I guess they are more of a gold.
No, they're gold. He has special color GN particles.
See, like, when I saw them, I just was like, well, all the GN Drive Taus kind of have, I guess they are a bit more orangey, and his have, like, a weird...
If you see him fighting alongside a Jinx, it is very obvious, especially because at the time of the Jinx, the red is really harsh. In Season 2, it kind of softens up a little.
Oh, right,
but, like,
right, the Jinxes are red. I forgot. The orange is, which ones have the more orangey? No! It is just this. Season 2 is when they start becoming orange, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, this color softens up.
Fuck.
Because it's theoretically a second generation of the Taus, where they have that filter or whatever that makes you not turn into Luis Harvey when you get shot.
Yeah, that makes you not get fucking radiation poisoning.
Yeah, sorry, that was a really weird way to phrase that. It's not some TF being.
No, it's... Yeah. I completely forgot. You know what? It's just because, it happens so late in Season 1 that my brain is just like, yeah, there's the orange GN particles, and then I realized, no, this is the first one, and they're meant to be gold because he's fucking Alejandro. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous. Alright. And then, he's got the close combat arms that I had mentioned. They're, they're large construction arms. They can crush things very easily. And then, it has the pairs of beam cannons that are the GN beam rifles. that kind of resemble like the way the Elmeth's beam cannons are. Just not as much vertical movement, but the Elmeth has like the two protruding barrels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the reference is very clear what we're going for here.
And then anyway, the other weird thing is that, or the other not weird thing, the other thing it does is it can generate a GN field. I presume, given how many fucking GN particles it has, that it's a pretty good one, or GN drives.
It seems like it.
Yeah. I can't remember what even makes it damage so that he gets out of it. I can't remember for sure.
I think he Setsuna rams it with the GN
with the GN
shit.
arms, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I believe it blocks a direct cannon shot from the Ptolemaios with the field.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because they basically were charging at each other a lot. Okay. And then he used the sword and lodged into the mobile armor, so... And then the Alvatore ejects. Anyway, yeah, ridiculous machine. It is technically made by the United Nations forces, and eventually this becomes the Empress and a couple of... Well, were we going to talk about those on this episode? I don't know. No, because we only got 20 minutes left, and the Empress would then require talking about the Regnant.
And then the Regnant 2, and damn.
Yeah. So the UN makes this, though, and, it is ridiculous. It is just such a weird machine thinking about it. So Alejandro is just like, hey, make me this golden machine that is a mobile armor with a little guy in it. Like it's weird, right? Because, this is the kind of weapon that if you look at it, it looks like it would be, a secret celestial being thing, but it's not.
So what happens is, you are a guy working for the UN, which probably means you're formerly from one of the other blocks, right? You worked on the either the fucking flag project or whatever, right? One of those things. And this guy shows up with a bunch of weird neon hair colored robot children. And is here's $5 billion. Make me a gold space tank.
And they're like, well, he's an ambassador, so I guess I have to.
Also, here's a bunch of tech that you didn't have before. Don't ask questions.
They're like, well, he's like, you can use this to defeat celestial being, and they're like, well, okay, mysterious stranger. Well, not even stranger, because again, they know who he is. He probably before
they're like, oh, Alejandro.
Before the events,
here for another inspection.
Well, here's the thing: before the events of the season, he probably had a very boring in-universe Wikipedia article being like, "Yeah, he's a UN ambassador that used to be an act pilot or whatever." I almost said flag, but no, he's a union, it's the Union Realdo actually that he pilots. Okay. I couldn't remember if he was European or American.
Oh yeah, he's American.
Yeah.
How could you not tell?
Yeah. Well, look.
Though he does name everything Spanish, so I guess I see where you're coming from.
But yeah, no. It's just he has this boring Wikipedia article, and then after the events of 00, they have to add delivery of weapons, formation of the A-Laws, because the weird way that history works in 00, they act like he is actually part of the A-Laws.
Yeah, it's like, you
there's
see
there's
life,
the celestial
biography.
being in the movie.
Yeah, you're gonna see his Wikipedia page just be life, biography, family,
controversy,
war crimes. Yeah,
because they don't know who Ribbons Allmark is. I guess the way it looks in the way that the Celestial Being movie is depicted, that they conflate the events of season 1 and 2. So he's the leader of the A-Laws. There's no Ribbons Allmark. They don't know about that twink.
Well, okay, hang on. That's not necessarily true.
Well,
you are assuming that if they made a movie, but you are assuming that if they made a movie in that setting, they would not take any liberties. I think what happened was they knew at least that Alejandro was dead by the time the A-Laws were running, but they're making a movie and they're like, we don't want to create a new villain. It's one movie.
You know what? This is fair. So, yeah. Um,
I do bet they don't know who Ribbons is, though. I
Yeah.
bet nobody knows who Ribbons is.
yeah, no, there's no way. Other than like a couple of like maybe the higher ranked A-laws that, you know, like defected, like, you know, Soma and Luis and so on and so on.
But I hope they knew who Bring Stabity is. I hope like
Well,
a
no,
couple
they
of
definitely know
innovators-
Bring Stabity. That's the other thing, right? Because remember they Bring Stabity and Revive Revival show up, and everyone's like, well,
Right.
everyone's like, well, who the fuck are these guys? And it's like, they outrank you. Just let them do their thing. It's just like, okay, I guess.
I mean, but like Ribbons did talk to people who survived, right? Ribbons would call up various officers and be like, "No, do what I say instead."
Yeah, but then again, at the end of season 2, don't a bunch of the A-Laws officers commit suicide rather than deal with getting, you know, I think at least one of...
That sounds plausible.
Is it, isn't there a politician that commits suicide, explicitly at the end of, season 2? Is it
got
Billy's
nothing,
dad?
But I don't remember. That sounds plausible. He's the samurai man.
Yeah, I think it's Billy Katagiri's dad, or no, his uncle, right, Homer Katagiri. And he's head commander of the A-Laws, and at the very end, he commits seppuku rather than faces charges. Yes! Because it shows... he's in his, like, traditional Japanese home, knelt over in his white robes with blood pooled beneath him.
Yes, it's
The
him
implication
in
is
repose.
very
Yes.
clear. He literally commits seppuku.
Yeah, I think everyone else, it's like, there are some officers who happen to be in the line of fire of big beams, but otherwise...
I mean,
there are
yeah,
probably
that's
some
the
people
thing,
who-
right? Is like, I feel like a lot of the A-Laws don't even have a chance to get arrested because they kind of all die. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm looking at the notable members. Homer Katagiri, deceased. Arthur Goodman, the very American guy. You know, he is also deceased. Caddy Mannequin, defected. Barak deceased. Or I guess Billy, lives. Graham lives. Yeah, no, they all basically die, or all the named ones defected. Sorry, Luis is the only one who doesn't have, defected or betrayed. Resigned due to medical reasons.
So Luis is like, I don't want to talk about it, right?
Yeah,
And then, fucking Caddy is like, I know how to keep my mouth shut.
yeah. Because
I guess there's Patrick, but Patrick had no idea what was going on.
yeah, Patrick, like, I mean, he joins the coup d'etat faction, but, you know.
Uh-huh.
Patrick doesn't know shit. The most recurring man who doesn't know a goddamn thing.
Patrick is like,
I love
they're
him.
interviewing everyone for this movie, and they talk to Louise, and she's like, I don't want to talk about it, please leave. And they talk to Andre, and he's like, it's because my dad sucked. I mean, sorry, right, I had character development. My dad was great. Apologies. And they talk to Patrick, and he's like, what are the A-laws? I don't think I've ever heard of them.
I love Patrick so much. Sorry, I got reminded because I was on the thing of him in the movie with his fucking pajamas. I love him. I love him so much.
He's great. He's
What
great.
a
Just a
fucking-
good character.
The dumbest man alive. I love that also, like, he's shitty one time to, we see him being, like, first he's on, like, the date with, like, the girl where he's like, I'm an ace, and he's, like, all cool. Then he goes inside, gets punched by Caddy, presumably immediately breaks up with that lady and is like, I have a crush on my commanding officer, she punched me in the face, I'm sorry. And then, you know, him and
That's
Caddy
it.
happen.
He's done.
And then
It's also
the detail of him taking her last name is also very
yes,
good.
I was about to say that one too. It's like, no, he's extremely house husband. I mean, gosh, once he retires from being a pilot, I don't think he can make toast. He has zero skills.
No,
So-
not at all. What a ridiculous character to have in your otherwise pretty serious show. I love him. Anyway. Alright. Well, that's the Alvatore and Alvaaron. Funny little guy. Very weird guy, comes out of nowhere, but it's fun, you know. And you need a final boss for the season. I get it.
Sure. I found it pretty fun to pilot in Gundam Versus. So
Gundam Versus, it's busted in some ways, because there were, like, strategies around, okay, just protect it until it can get the fucking Alvatore, and then it breaks the match. It just breaks the game. Because it essentially makes a boss character playable. It's so stupid. Gundam Versus, after the DLC, became such a dumb game.
It's pretty dumb, especially as a person who only played it 1v1.
Oh my god, yeah, no, 1v1 it was extremely... Ugh. It is so... That game is funny. I mean, it makes me sad because they keep doing this fucking problem. Now, luckily, with, Extreme Versus, Maxi Boost On, when that got its console release, in a way, it's good that they didn't really do DLC. Like, it had, like, the couple of units they added, but, like, they didn't update it enough to break the game like they did with fucking, Versus, where the game was just broken.
Mm-hmm.
And it broke early on, and then it kept re-breaking, because, okay, first the Hot Scramble. Okay, the Hot Scramble, so powerful that in spite of being nerfed several times, it's still one of the best, I almost said 3Ks, 500s in the game, because Gundam Versus was like, we have to make it different from the arcade game. We desperately do not want to kill our arcade, because that's the reason the game is so weird, is they don't want to kill their arcade market. That was the main thing. They were like, we really desperately, that's also why they were so resistant at releasing like any of the arcade, ports at home. So the Hot Scramble has to be nerfed several times, and it's still really good. The Nightingale is busted. As much as I loved playing it, it's busted. Fucking, the Age 1 also fucking busted. Just goofy suits in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then they never made a single good 200 unit, unfortunately. Funny game, though. Anyway, alright. Yeah. Six, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Blue Sky at Sixtetmar, SAXDETTMAR. You can also find my work at scanlinemedia.com or patreon.com/scanlinemedia. And you should join the Scanline Media Discord if you want to talk to us and, also request stuff, ask questions, chat with, us about any Scanline stuff, which this is one of those Scanline things.
Yeah, just #Scanline things.
If you have opinions on what the best gym is, some claims were made that I stand by.
I'll have to look, actually.
There's not really anyone there to contradict me, so, I mean, there's Emrys, but Emrys agrees.
Oh, yes, I did see this conversation, yeah, because,
I mean, I guess, okay, I said it was the Jesta, that's like the best base gym. When you include variants, it's the armor gym. The channel's right there, you can type.
Yeah, no, I'm about to, don't worry.
Alright. Dylan, what about you? Where can people find you?
It's no Jetta. You can find me at Low Poly Robot on... Well, sorry. I keep saying at Low Poly Robot. I mean, I'm the only one on there, but it is the at lowpolyrobot.busky.social,
Sure, yes.
I always forget that because you can change that, it is sometimes good to, say that. But...
Sure, fair.
I'm the only one on there, though. And yeah, I still was on my not posting kick for a little while. Then, last week's episode of Mechanista made me think about the Abiru S, so then I posted that a bunch because I was thinking about it and other recon suits. And then I just started posting robots. And also some screenshots from Manhunter, because, man, that's a good-looking movie. What else did I do? Oh! Also, I ripped all my PS4 footage and was sharing stupid videos, including one recorded of Judgment, from when I joined y'all on talking about that game. Of me running into fucking crane game machines and making them explode because the Dragon engine is great. And I love it. Anyway, yeah. So I just kind of post random things on there. And that's it for me. Oh, and also I lamented that the Bandit still doesn't have a kit. I am at the point now where I really think, actually, if there's one turn A kit, I know everyone wants a Kapool, and I get it. I think the one I would want more than anything else would be the Bandit. A modern kit of the Bandit would be so good.
The Bandit's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think the other reason I thought about it is because with the Abiru S, we talked about the Shock Claw, and then that made me think about the Bandit having its, the claws that have the wires on them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I like it when you shoot claw.
Oh, hey, no one at Bandai Namco listens to this, and even if they did, they wouldn't have any power to change anything. I get it, it's fine, but I'm just gonna pretend for a second. Fucking reprint the Mark III Re-100 already. Goddamn. It's not a P Bandai, it's just one of your fucking... Though, if you wanted to do the Unit 8 as a P Bandai, go for that.
Yeah.
But, like, come on, just reprint. It's a normal kit.
I'm wondering why... I'm wondering if, because it's sold kind of slowly, if that's why. Because...
I mean, they also just don't reprint Re-100s basically ever.
No, there was, like, one recent one, but that's it. Like, it's a weird line. I've really...
Yeah, the Ariel thing.
I've been waiting for the fucking Hamma to get a reprint for forever.
I managed to get that one. I was in a random comic book shop I visited. They had it in the window, and I was like, that shit's mine now.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, because I got the Mark III as soon as it came out because I'm me, and I love the Mark III.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Nightingale as well because it's the fucking Nightingale. Now, admittedly, after getting the high grade, I'm like, man, we could have just ignored the Re-100 because the high grade is so good.
Sure. Plus,
the high grade is just the version of the design like I like it a bit more. Because it's the Yanase's version with, like, the pointier shoulders and stuff that are... It's just the design aesthetically I like more. I do have the GPO4, though. And then the only other ones I have... So I have, like, all the old ones. The three originals. I didn't get a DJ. I didn't get an Efreet, or Hamma or Bewu. The only other ones I have are... Oh, I do have the gun cannon detector, but like the P Bandai one, the Zeta MSV one, which is really cool. It's red, and it actually has like the changes from the art, like to the legs and the head, so it's really nice. And then I don't have it yet. Oh, that's one that they did reprint recently. They did do the Vigna Zira and stuff again, and the Vigna Gina and all that. There's the Vigna Gina, the Vigna Gina 2, and the Vigna Zira, and I want all of them. And then the very last one that they did that was a normal release, the Zaku 2 FZ. I don't own it, but my girlfriend ended up having me build it, because it was one of the ones in her backlog for a while, and so I was like, I want to try building it. Can I build it? And she was like, yeah, sure, go for it. And I'm like, yay. Because I'm crazy, and for me, my favorite part of a build isn't even just having the model on display on my desk. I just like building. The act of building is very relaxing for me.
Building's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I have 4. 2 are unbuilt because at this point, since I'm moving in the year, I'm just saving stuff till I move.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is a great way to solve the fact that I haven't been building in a while anyway because of anxiety. But hopefully in the new place I will start over. So I have built. I have the Hamma. Oh no, I guess I have 3 built. Never mind. I have the Hamma built. I have the Gunny Z built, and I have the Shoku from P Bandai. And then the other one I have that's not built is the Quest Yagdoga.
Okay. The Quest Yagdoga is another one I really want to get, because I don't care for Gyunes, but I want Quests.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. I will say that Zaku, the Zaku 2 Kai is really good.
Oh yeah, if I saw it, I would definitely
just as a build. It's really funny, because I hate the way, I mean, I know you're going to agree with me on these, because you've built them. People talk about Re-100 as if it's just high-grade scaled up. That is not the case. They are more complex builds than that. They are not as complex as a Master Grade, no. But they are different. They are not the same as a high grade, and I don't like the way that people try to boil down models that way. The builds are more interesting than that. You got to give them more credit than that. Come on. Anyway,
it's in between an HG and an MG, and I think it hits a really it feels like an MG that you can build a little faster.
Yeah, an MG that you can still build in a couple of hours rather than it depends on the MG, but like when I made,
Sure.
it also depends on how old you are, because admittedly, I clear out kits so much faster now than I used to, which is funny. I've just learned how to do certain things, right? Like, even if legs and arms are asymmetrical, I'll build them at the same time, and it does make it go by so much faster than when you start over. You know, especially if you're working off like the same runners for them. I've just gone to that point where I just keep track of which leg is which, and I've never had a mix-up yet. It's, it just happens. And yeah.
I also make a, this one's a bigger request because it's not just reprinting a thing. I'm really waiting for a full mechanics Caliburn, please.
Yeah, please. Come on. Alright. Well, guess that would be a show, because you've got to make a call, so I won't let you.
Yeah.
We'll let you do that. True. So, yeah. The fuck does... I mean, digging up an Alejandro line shouldn't be too bad, actually.
You'd be surprised.
Really?
But I do have, something. Because what I do is I Google, like Alejandro corner quotes, and if I can't find anything suitable, I just use a different quote that Google served me up and isn't really Alejandro corner, right?
Oh, okay.
If you're having a bad day, catch a wave.
What?
Oh, sorry. I forgot. Here.
Oh. Let me see.
That shows up on the first page if you Google Alejandro corner quotes. So, fair enough.
Okay. Fair enough.
Peace.
Peace.